Welcome to the Completely Unnecessary Podcast, non-spooky edition, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. That's Ian Ferguson in his Mitchell's t-shirt. Pat Contry in my Into the AM t-shirt with the alien on it. On the show today, we'll be talking about Amico excitement, Heritage Auctions, big Halloween weekend results. We love talking about the latest. We haven't done that in a few months.
Oh, the results.
Maybe a short scumbag so week. We'll see. Patreon poll topic, Q&As, blah, 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 blah. Ian, how was your weekend?
It was good.
Good? Your life was good, like Kevin Kubicheski?
Who's Kevin Kubicheski?
From You Can't Do That on Television.
Oh, that's right.
And everyone told me season 2 is on Paramount Plus, which was the first season of it being just like a sketch comedy show without all the crowd stuff they did in Canada.
Yeah. I remember someone sent that to us like immediately after. It's always good to know that like if we are unsure of whether or not something is out there streaming, someone will point us to it.
I was shocked because the big thing was it was never put on DVD for whatever reason. They couldn't get all the rights and work out putting that on a DVD. You know how well that show would sell to like the Gen Xers and older millennials like me. That show was a huge part of many people's childhood for years.
Definitely would have sold well. I think 10 years ago. I think at this point the interest might be gone.
I would still buy it. I mean, that show was so well written. When you look back and you think about it, you're like, wow, they got away with some really heavy jokes on that show. They did. That were geared towards adults. Sorry to cut you off, but
no, it's fine.
Goat show.
I didn't read. I watched 3 horror movies over the weekend. My plan all October was that I was going to watch
in Shocktober.
I was going to watch a whole bunch of horror movies.
WPIX Shocktober. I
didn't. A new entry in a franchise that I like came out. VHS 94 came out. I like the first 2.
Never heard of this series.
They're anthology horror movies.
Ooh, what, like Cat's Eye?
I love anthology horror movies.
Or Strange. What was the other one? There was a bunch of anthology horror movies in the 80s.
Tales from the Hood is a anthology movie.
That was 90s. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so anyways, yeah. So I wanted to watch the new one of those. I never got around to it. Finally did. I liked it. It was better than the third one. I want to see more. I'm still waiting for the one VHS movie that is like perfect. There isn't one yet, but I love the format. There's a shell narrative that usually always involves someone investigating someplace or something, and they usually end up finding VHS tapes, and then they find the tapes and they watch the tapes, and those are the shorts, and they usually don't have any connection or.
Were these released in theaters? I don't remember.
Yeah,
these.
VHS and VHS 2 were definitely released in theaters.
Years?
VHS I think was mid 2000s. I know it got like small theater releases.
Okay, I was thinking like it was an 80s thing. I never heard of it.
No, and it definitely wasn't like a big theater release. It would have been like an indie art house.
So
movie.
it's like they find a bunch of VHS tapes and they play them. Short stories.
Yeah,
it's like
usually, and then there's a bunch of short stories. So I liked it. It was good. I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of the series. Then Vonnie went to bed, and I was like, "Well, I've got this Shudder subscription because it's on Shudder, so I paid the $5. It's like a
horror streaming?
It's like a horror specific streaming service, and I've had it before, and there's usually really good content on it. Everyone loves that Joe Bob Briggs guy.
Everyone loves Joe Bob.
That's where he does all of
TNT Monster Vision.
That's where he does all of his current day shows.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, like Last Drive-In and all that. He does those on Shudder. So I watched The Beyond, which it was listed as a gore classic from I can't remember the guy's name. Last name is Fulci. It was an Italian horror movie that I watched. A gore-centric Italian horror movie. And boy, howdy, I don't know that I need to see that movie again. It was an interesting movie, and I don't regret watching it, but there's a scene where a dude gets eaten alive by spiders, and I never, ever need to see that again.
Was it done like the effects were realistic or not really?
It was done in a way that was extraordinarily creepy, and I don't need to see it ever again.
Little spiders?
No, like tarantulas. Ooh. But they mixed like real spiders with fake spiders, and it created this very strange, trippy, like...
Couldn't tell which one was real.
It was like very it was like a weird dream sequence, but then like one of the tarantulas goes into a prosthetic face and pulls out a prosthetic eyeball, and they do it real slow. Okay. And I was like, I
never got into the gore stuff. Some people like the gore. That to me, that's not horror. That's like a subgenre.
No, it's definitely a subgenre, and yeah. I understand some of it. I like it. What I don't understand is the people who get so into gore that they go looking for the real stuff.
they need help.
Like the rotten.com shit, like from back when
People
that was a website.
Faces of Death.
Yeah, no, I like the gore in horror movies because it's an art form too. Like it's impressive what they're doing.
Like the Savini effects and the Friday the 13th stuff, or Nightmare on Elm Street is super impressive.
It's cool to see. Once you get past that point where like you're afraid of it, you're like, there's some artistry going on
like
here.
the arrow through Kevin Bacon's neck is
a classic. Yeah, it's a fucking classic scene. But yeah, I don't need the real stuff.
Spoilers, by the way. You know, Friday the 13th came out when I was born, the actual day.
Oh, really?
80. Yeah, I learned that the other day. I was like,
oh shit,
that's why I'm crazy. Maybe.
And then I watched Chopping Mall.
Chopping Mall, okay.
Which is about a group of teens that get locked in a mall and they get hunted down by 3 security robots.
Okay,
almost all right.
So kind of a tech slant to it.
Honestly, it was from 1986. I wish it had lived up to the promise of the premise and the name a bit better, but it was still all right. So
remember the unidentified VHS I remember that horrified me when I was 4 and 5?
Yes, we've got an answer.
We've got 3 people sent it to me on Twitter and email. It's not exactly what was in my mind. We're talking about a memory that's now like 36 years old.
Sure.
Wizard of Gore somewhat matches my memory. I thought it was a saw blade, but a chainsawing the woman in half, and it's very graphic for a VHS cover. It's an art. It's someone drawing it. So The Wizard of Gore came out in 1970, and from all accounts, it's a terrible movie.
Oh, probably.
Like, really bad effects. They did do that in the movie where they sawed someone in half with a chainsaw, and they did the effect by having a real woman in the top, legs moving on the bottom. In the middle, they put like sheep guts and did it. So it probably looked like crap, though, but that's where the cover comes from. So when you see that cover, you're like, how is that allowed? Like, that's super graphic to have that cover. Someone getting chainsawed in half, a woman in a bikini. Which probably doesn't happen in the movie. I know someone gets chainsawed, but I don't think it's probably in a bikini. But the movie's about a guy that hypnotizes audience members to come be his like servants / helpers on these gory tricks. But the person survives the trick, but then dies of the wounds from the trick later on at home. And there's a detective that goes and investigates, or an investigator. I read the synopsis and I'm like, well, that sounds like an interesting sort of premise, but it's a low budget, shitty movie though.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably get some kicks out of it. Maybe.
Well, there you go. You can check out the Wizard of Gore. I remember it being a woman with a saw blade though. Like almost in my mind, it was more in my 5-year-old memory. It was a more artistic cover than this. It was like angled up.
Sure.
It was like a giant saw blade. I don't remember being this sort of non-artistic, like this is.
Yeah, but kids' imaginations run wild.
And I also remember saying to you, I remember different colors of the cover, like next to each other, like it was a series of movies. So maybe I misremember that. I remember there being like a red and a blue cover with the same art but just different outside color. I might be making that up though. Little 5-year-old Pat was making that up in the little mom and pop VHS store. You know how much fun it probably what it was running a VHS store in the 80s? Probably like the best job on earth. Plus, you're making money hand over fist, by the way, with your $120 membership fees that they had back then. You know,
yeah, it probably would be fun.
1984 money, $120.
I still feel like it might be a decent job. Much in the same way, like my buddy Rick, who is actually one of the ones who sent me that cover to tell you about. He's like, I look at it every Monday because he volunteers at a video rental store. And I was thinking it's got to be kind of interesting because it's one of those things where people can come in and talk to you about like their interests and their hobbies and stuff. And you've got a shared thing. But unlike, say, the video game store, you don't have to worry about buybacks. You don't have to worry about returns. Yeah. You don't have to worry about people buying something and deciding they don't want it 3 days later. It's a $5 rental. You take it home. The worst thing that happens is the VHS or the DVD is fucked up and you got to refund someone. Yeah,
there's not a huge amount of the mom and pop rental places yet. There was one up in the fucking woody, foresty vacation spot near LA or one or two. There was one there for like the community there. What the hell am I talking about? Not Julian. Whatever. It's like an hour 45 north of here. Anyway, there was a local mom and pop place there because it's like for the local community members, which isn't a huge amount, and then it's for any tourists there. It's like a kitschy thing to go to a rental shop. Oh, by the way, they remade Wizard of Gore with Crispin Glover.
I was just going to say, I'm seeing they made it in 2007, and of course Crispin Glover's in it.
Of course, Crispin. Who doesn't love good old Crispin Glover?
Bijou Phillips is in it as well.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It sounds familiar to me. I'm trying to see why.
So what did I do this weekend, you ask?
What did you do this weekend?
I made an NES Punk video. Frankenstein: The Monster Returns. Check it out. Please watch it. Please give me some support there. You know, watch it within 12 days.
Yeah, that's right.
He has 12 days to watch it, or else it just extinguishes from his memory. What are you looking at? Wizard of Gore?
Yeah, I was looking at the
and I went to Frank's. Frank had a little birthday dinner.
I forget, is his birthday on the 30th or the 31st?
Halloween.
It is Halloween. Okay.
Frank the Scorpio, and he is a Scorpio. We went to an Italian restaurant. A little pricey, a little more pricey than I was used to for an entree. You know, $30 or and up on some of them. It was one of those ones you pick the pasta, which are all freshly made. You pick the sauce type. Oh God, intermittent fasting. And you pick, like, if you want a topping, like meatballs or the sausage. So I got the meatballs. I always get the meatballs at an Italian place to really test if they're a real Italian place. And I got the house sausage. The meatballs were not my favorite. They tasted bland. So either there wasn't enough mixture of spices. It just tasted like I don't want to insult the place and say it tastes like a bought-in meatball from a pizzeria, but like
that's what it tastes like.
It went towards that direction versus. But they were supposedly house-made meatballs. They're also too perfect circular, which I thought was weird. House-made meatballs hard to have.
Oh yeah, no, it's got to be more of a. A meatball is homemade.
It's got to be lumpier.
It's got a little bit of an ass.
A little bit of an ass.
Yeah, it's got a little junk in the trunk. When it settles when you're cooking it, it flattens out a little bit. Gets a little pear-shaped in the booty area.
That can happen if you pan fry them versus just dumping them in the meat. That can happen.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Neither did I until now.
I don't know. It's not necessarily a pear, but okay. Little junk in the meatball trunk.
Just spitting.
So that's what I did. I worked on the NES Punk episode all weekend and got it out on Halloween. Kudos to Pat for that. You see about this Facebook rebranding to Meta?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't used Facebook in over a decade, and I will probably continue to not use Facebook. I think my last real post on Facebook was sometime around 2010. I think I'd mostly stopped using it by then, though, and I access it every once in a while to get pictures. I don't know what Meta is supposed to be.
The metaverse. They want to build a virtual world because they bought Oculus out, and we were like, why the fuck are they doing this for? Like, what's the point of Facebook getting into VR? And
so is it supposed to be like VR chat for old people? I don't know what it is.
They don't know either. Here's the thing.
No, of course they don't.
People are down on Facebook because it's been obviously a cesspool of misinformation.
Yes.
And hate shit and just vile crap the past at least 5 years, but even before that it was bad, but definitely the last half a decade. And they've gotten a lot of trouble and being called out for helping to propagate lots of misinformation and sowing discord on a variety of issues I won't get into because I don't want the comments on YouTube to explode. But it is what it is. And so they even acknowledged it, like in their internal memos. It's been like, oh yeah, we know this shit's going on, but did fuck all to curtail a lot of it, because a lot of it was like they got money from targeted information and ads. You can, like, any post on Facebook, you could like put in money to promote it and boost it, and that happened a lot.
Right.
Before the election, there was propaganda, and it was a lot of it was connected to foreign actors or a decent amount. So their name is shit Facebook to a lot of people at this point. A lot of people say, fuck Facebook, I'll just be on Twitter looking at bodega cats and hanging out and getting news that way. And it's a much cleaner social media platform, or even Instagram. But Facebook's the worst to a lot of people. I don't think any young people are on Facebook, and even people my age don't like it that much. It's only
someone called it.
Older people.
Someone I saw aptly called it like a hard to navigate family reunion. I think most people who have it these days keep it. Everyone I know who still has it, who's our age or younger, has it because it connects them with certain older family members. But that's it. That was the only reason I even held on to it for as long as I did.
So Facebook's going to keep that name, but the corporate company's Meta. That's not going to change a damn thing to how people look at Facebook. That's going to change anything. According to the CNBC article, scrutiny of Zuckerberg and Facebook has ratcheted up in recent weeks over its handling of misinformation and hate speech and its potential to be harmful for teenagers and children. The latest inquiries come after ex-Facebook employee turned whistleblower Frances Haugen released internal documents to press showing the company is aware its products and services can cause harm, but struggles to address them. That's what I brought up about that. Zuckerberg denied the claims of the documents in an earnings call, saying they paint a false picture of our company. So yeah, they're going to have problems with not just retention of employees and getting new people there because the company's reputation shit. But I obviously Facebook makes money. I don't see how over time it can continue to sustain where it's at though. If the young people don't latch onto it, you're just going to have old people die off.
All I really saw was, basically talk of how it's obviously going to be a huge gamble, and I don't think it'll pay off for Facebook. But the only way to get themselves back is to skip a generation and take their time to build this and hope that it catches the next generation.
It's done.
Yeah. And you're not going to be able to do that.
That's not how social media's ever worked, or any website.
It would be absolutely incredible if Facebook could fail, disappear for a generation, and then still somehow come back. I don't think that
people were like, people were like, we need MySpace Tom back. And it's like, you know what? As broken as MySpace was, it didn't have Facebook all this shit on it.
Live Journal.
What's that?
Live Journal.
Was that right before MySpace, around the same time?
It was like earlier, just a little bit earlier, or at the same time.
I have a friend that, not throwing Tom on it, but that's fine. My friend I communicated with, thinks it was Tom on a dating app. Swear to God, it was MySpace Tom.
Wow.
Just enjoying retirement. Got paid out, several million for MySpace and just hanging out.
Yeah, I bet.
He's young. He's like our age.
Oh, yeah.
He's not that much older. He's probably like 45.
Yeah, I was going to say 45, 50 tops.
Because he was young when he did. He was, I think he's probably like 5 years older than us.
Well, look at Zuckerberg. He's young.
Yeah, he's all right. I think he's almost exactly our age. He was in college around the same time.
Yep.
Or he might be a little bit younger. Yeah, and now, we'll see if the VR stuff happens. I don't understand how it would be helpful. Nintendo is shuttering a couple of satellite offices in North America. I don't know if you saw this, Ian. I didn't know they had these satellite offices. It's still obviously unfortunate. They're trying to relocate some of these employees. So there was a Toronto office, and then Redwood City, California.
I knew there was a Redwood office. I did not know that there was a Toronto office. That's interesting.
They're going to obviously their main headquarters in Redmond, Washington, and Vancouver, British Columbia. So there's one right across there. We are moving more of our employees and operations into those headquarters, and we'll be closing small satellite offices in Toronto and Redwood City. And they're closed pretty much as of now or soon. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It probably won't affect a huge amount. It sounds like that was like the marketing headquarters, the Redwood City one.
Right.
So close.
I hope no one lost their jobs, but at the same point in time, I have a feeling a lot of them will be relocated too.
Yeah,
I hope.
It stinks, but I don't think it's not gonna really affect any games coming out or anything like that. It sounds, and a lot can happen. Here's the thing. I think I've dealt with someone through PR a little bit. A lot's changed in the last 10 years when it comes to marketing these things. You don't necessarily need like big, huge dedicated marketing teams as much as you used to. You get the influencers on board with things on Twitch or on YouTube. I said that twice. Twitch, YouTube was one I was missing out of the three. Just to say Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah.
And Twitter.
Mixer.
And Twitter. Mixer. People are Mixer. You don't need to have as many people as you used to basically do marketing. You just don't. It's branding's changed a lot the past 10 years and how you get the word out to people. And now Nintendo was like, what's the best marketing? We just put out a direct.
It really is.
And that's it. We don't need anything else, but we'll just produce it in-house and we'll put out a video and produce it. So dedicated marketing is, not going the way of the dodo, like that phrase should at this point. But
what, going the way of the dodo?
Because you have left the dodos alone. Because you have left some of them alone. They're just walking around. Dumb birds can't fly. You gotta eat all of them.
Around. Yeah, bet you they didn't even taste that good.
They were just dumb in there. They're just happy dodos. Hey, human! I never saw you before. Clonk on the head. I'm gone. Now I'm a stew. Now my species is gone. Fucking idiots. I'm sorry. I'm thrown off.
You know who's not an idiot? What? Anyone who shops at ultimatenintendo.com, where you can get books, pins, RBI baseball stickers right here, other stuff. Pat, take it away.
Ian's earning his paycheck. Yeah, there's fun stuff there as well. My SNES games, my SNES books. at pukapukagames.co.uk. If you're in Europe, you can get them there. Our pal Kieran there is selling them. Or if you're in Canada, you can go to retromtl.com and order them in Canada there. I'm going to be at Retro World Expo this weekend in Hartford, Connecticut.
You sure are.
November 6th and 7th. And I'll be doing a panel. I'll be getting some Connecticut pizza, which is somewhat close to New York. And I'll
probably better than out here.
Oh, yes, without a doubt. And I'll be seeing our pal Norman there.
Oh, Norm.
I haven't seen Norm. He wasn't at Portland 2 years ago. I haven't seen Norm in 2.5 years.
Jesus.
I think so. I don't think I've seen Norm since, holy crap, sometime in the summer? Missouri, GameCon. That was like August. I miss my roommate, Norm. So we're going to hang out. Dan will be there as well. The Retroware
Dan's going to be there again?
Yeah, the Retroware crew is going to be there. John and Lance.
Good old John and Lance.
Granddaddy John.
Granddaddy John D.
Will be there, as well as Lance, the old Retroware folks. It'll be a semi-reunion of sorts. It'll be fun. And I'm going to be on Twitch. I did Shocktober last week. I actually found Shocktober Friday 13th. I found some of the commercials.
Yeah, you found a commercial block from the horror movies you were saying.
So that was fun last week. I'm on twitch.tv/Country Code every Wednesday with the best mod in the world, Adriana. It was great to see her again. At Too Many Games a couple weeks ago. You see Xbox and Sega teaming up here?
No, that's why we took it off the docket, because I had nothing to say about it.
There.
That was not supposed to be there.
I didn't delete it. Xbox and Sega may team up to build games with Microsoft's Azure cloud platform. The move is linked to Sega's Super Game Online project. Xbox and Sega will explore a strategic alliance to produce games built on Microsoft's Azure cloud platform, the company said in a release Monday. These unnamed games will be part of Sega's Super Game Initiative. That sounds so silly. Mm-hmm. Super Game Initiative. Come on, Sega. You're making it too easy.
Super Game Initiative.
Which is designed to create online community-centric titles based on existing franchises.
Right out of the MCU writer's room.
Okay. So this is a partnership the same way. It's a partnership when you buy pizza from Papa John's, as has been joked about before. I mean, you're using their cloud platform. I don't think Microsoft's going to be looking, like producing Sonic games with Sega. I don't see that happening. It's just probably like a support,
Yeah, no, this is literally just a company being signed up to use a service.
Yeah, but it's Sega. You like this quote? Sega has played such an iconic role in the gaming industry and has been a tremendous partner over the years. Microsoft's Sarah Bond said in the release, "Together, we will reimagine how games get built, hosted, and operated with a goal of adding more value."
Oh, I love value.
To players.
Love it. I love value.
More value to players and Sega alike.
Can't get enough fucking value.
Oh, that got worse as I read it. That got worse.
Yeah.
Come on, Sega. Someone tried to leave a troll comment saying on the NES Punk video that just came out. It's like, oh, for someone who bashes Sega, you got to have a lot of games in your room, because they saw the shelf there with this. It's like, I never hated Sega. Where does this come from? I just never preferred them. That's all. It's like I prefer Hydrox, but I like Oreos. I just prefer Hydrox. Yeah. I'm not going to turn down an Oreo cookie.
You're not saying no to one.
Yeah. I'm not turning down Golden Axe just because I like Contra. I'll play Golden Axe. I like Golden Axe.
Golden Axe is very fun.
It's a very fun game. That was a system seller. That was a killer app to me in the pre-Sonic Genesis days, which are interesting. Chris Pratt.
Oh, God, no.
Chris Pratt, I thought this was a joke when I saw this.
Yeah,
and this goes back to my scolding of Nintendo for, this is what you get, Nintendo, for not listening to Pat. This is what you get for getting the safe choice of Chris Pratt to voice Mario, because now on top of doing the Lego guy in those movies and now doing Mario, Chris Pratt's going to voice Garfield. What's happening? What's happening here? What's happening?
It's insane.
What's happening? Does Chris Pratt have information on someone? How does he keep getting these voice roles? I'm sure he's a nice fellow, but this is weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
This is so strange. These are really big roles. The Lego movies were huge. Mario's going to be a big movie. Garfield's a big property. How do you go from Lorenzo Music and Bill fucking Murray to Chris Pratt? That's not even close to the same realm of type of voice.
No, it's absolutely different. Is that all he's done? I'm trying to find that out. I feel like he's done more voiceover stuff.
Well, apparently now he's the voice du jour. So
maybe not.
And now people are making fun of it that he's voicing someone in Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Now there's all these jokes, but like you can't make it up.
Garfield, Mario, Lego Movie 2, Lego Movie
Both.
1.
Yeah. That should be enough. Ever.
Emmett's Holiday Party.
And it was Lego. He's the guy from Lego, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes, that's like a thing. So usually,
oh, he was in Onward too. That's what he was. He was the voice. It was a Pixar movie from like 2020. It was like the D&D like adventure themed one with like the kids. They go on a journey.
Okay.
Orcs.
But at least that was that a starring role or just an ensemble at least?
I think that's a starring role. That's what I'm getting at.
So
that's
he's
a lot
like,
of shit.
how is this happening?
Yeah.
Is there no one else out there to do the voice roles? Get me in there. I'll do my Mario for you. It's a me, a Pat, a Nick. I can do the Mario. Come on. No.
No, Patrick.
Patricio. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And now everyone knows it. I'm not saying Chris shouldn't audition for these roles. Get that money, Chris Pratt. Go for it. I don't care. But like, I don't know. Maybe he's just amazing. He's just amazing. He's off the charts. He can do all these things. I don't picture him doing Garfield. I couldn't picture him tomorrow. I can't picture Chris Pratt pulling off the sort of morose, lazy, lethargic Garfield. I just don't.
No.
He's always an upbeat character in all of his movies. Upbeat, energetic in all, and of course he's great in Parks and Rec. That's where he.
I never saw the Bill Murray Garfield movies because I don't like Garfield, but I can imagine Bill Murray would have been a great voice for him. Honestly,
yeah, because he doesn't give a shit anyway. He probably didn't give a shit while he was recording for Garfield.
It's one of my favorite
He's
lines
probably
from
like, all right,
Zombieland.
let's bang this out in 40 minutes. I gotta go to the Cubs game. Like that's probably what he said when he recorded it. Like, okay, Bill. Okay, we'll just do the one take Murray is what they called him in the Garfield. That was one of the funniest lines from what the hell, the zombie movie when he
that's what I just said. That's one of my favorite lines from the zombie movie.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're like, what do you have any regrets? Garfield, maybe.
Garfield, and that was hysterical.
Yeah,
when he said that because he acknowledged that was just like, but it probably wasn't even that big of a deal. It's just like, well, it was kind of recent to that movie. The fuck movie was that? Zombieland. That's right. I saw the sequel. Did I see the sequel?
Sequel was good.
Was it worth the wait? Like the 10-year wait? Or whatever?
It wasn't nearly as good as the first one, but it was still a good movie, and they obviously had fun making it. So I can't.
Was Rosario Dawson in that? Was she in that?
No.
I share a birthday with Rosario Dawson as well, but she's a year older.
Maybe.
Was she in that? Yeah, she was in Zombieland. She shows up in the best stuff. Zombieland Double
Yeah, she was in Zombieland too.
How do you not know about Rosario?
No, I mean, I was thinking about it. You're right. No. Yeah, she was in there.
Okay, I got to check it out just for that alone. And Woody Harrelson does not age between the two.
No, it's getting to the point where it's weird. It's getting to the point where it's kind of fucking creepy. He has looked the same since Natural Born Killers.
And that was 30 years old. He's 60 by now.
Yeah.
You still have to see God, that was amazing. The fucking HBO True Detective with him and
I still gotta watch
McConaughey.
That, yeah, I gotta watch that.
Season 1. It's amazing. The two of them together, and that was already like probably 7 years ago or so. That came out. He's 60. He's 60. Woody Harrelson. Mm-hmm. Okay, in that picture he kind of looks 60, but they make him up. I guess he doesn't look. He's 60 playing Carnage. Like who'd have thought that?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Natural Born Killers. That was at 93, 92. Yeah. So he was born in 1950. That makes sense. From Midland, Texas. Yeah, check out True Detective. That was really fucking good. There. All right, we're gonna talk about some other stuff and have fun.
We're gonna talk about other stuff.